Beautiful people of YouTube, it's nice to see you all this beautiful morning. I got some things I gotta do today, and it's a mess out here. I'll tell you that. It's a mess out here. I would say good morning to everyone. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability. Well, I guess I do a little. Well, there's been people chatting in here all morning. Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So we're just going to have a little chit chat. I can't really read comments because I'm driving and it's raining, but we'll just sit here and chit chat. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Manic Monday. It's not just a Manic Monday for y'all. It's a Manic Monday for me too. Me too. But we're going to be discussing briefly the case of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. This afternoon we're going to be talking about Sebastian Rogers. And so for our two children out of Nova Scotia, Canada, am I coming in clear? I just want to make sure, because sometimes when I travel, we should be where it's local, so I should have good internet everywhere, but, you know, who knows, who knows. Good morning, everyone. So the two children from Nova Scotia are 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan, which disappeared from their home allegedly on May 2nd. That time is looking more realistic than it once was. According to the parents, the children were homesick from school, and they heard them playing around in their room and in the kitchen, and then it went silent. And so they got up, and it sounds like Malehya looked over to Daniel and said, "Hey, do you hear the kids?" He says no, and they got up, immediately got up and started looking for him. And according to Malehya, she just knew that she needed to call law enforcement, called law enforcement right away. Daniel took off. He went looking through the culverts and woods and ditches and hollering their name and screaming. Sounds like a frantic morning. The RCMP, which stands for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, showed up and started their work, I want to say around 10:40, somewhere around there. And it sounded like everything escalated, and it escalated very quickly. They started having mounted patrol, ATVs. They had a huge search effort underway in Nova Scotia for these two missing children. And nothing was found. No evidence was found. No foods, no backpack, no pull-up diaper, just nothing. Just the two kids gone. And still to this day, nobody has seen them. Now, some breaking news kind of came out over the last week about the timing of these children, and allegedly they were seen with their mom and stepfather around 3:17 p.m. on May 1st, which is a little odd for many of us because we were told the kids were homesick that day. So for them to be in town with their parents is a little odd. Now, granted, you have parents home, sick kids, you need to go and get some medicine, go get some groceries, go get some dinner or something like that. Naturally, you can't leave the children home. They've got to come with, sick and all. But it's just, at this point, prior to that, they weren't making any proclamations or statements that they had ever left the house while the children were sick, even under such heavy scrutiny. So it made people wonder why they would not tell people this information, and I honestly don't know. Am I still coming in good for all of you, or am I getting a little checkered? Just want to check and make sure you guys can still hear me. It's just really, really bad outside, so I don't know if that's affecting the signal or not. I'm not hearing anybody. Good morning. Can you guys hear me? That's the question. I don't know what the delay is. Sound is good. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. I was unsure. So, anyways, long story short, the kids, we never understood why they never said anything. And Daniel finally acknowledged it was them out in the world. And there were so many, for days, they were saying the kids, even me, based on the information, it appeared that there was a possibility that the kids could have disappeared camera, but none of that happened. We never heard any of that. And then comes the whole situation with the abduction. One thing that upset both Daniel as well as Malehya with law enforcement is they wanted an Amber Alert. They felt that they didn't know what happened to the children. The children were there 1 minute, gone the next minute. They weren't really finding any information. And they really wanted law enforcement to, send out an Amber Alert, letting people know that the children are missing, and that they're searching for them. And they said that they don't believe that there's an abduction. And in all fairness, they are in the middle of nowhere, but it's not heard of to have an abduction in the middle of nowhere. I've heard, and with the reports we've been studying and some of the cases we've gone over, especially back with Charlotte Senna. She was stranger danger abducted out of a New York State campground, and by the grace of God, she was still alive when they found her. But we looked at some stuff related to that, and that's how we learned so much about the statistics on stranger danger. It's a low probability. But one of the videos that I watched and monitored covering her case was one of, this guy. He was a serial unaliver, and he was a serial unaliver of children. And this was back in the day. This wasn't, I think this may have been like 60s, 70s, 80s time frame, if I had to remember. But don't count me on that. I can't be 100%. But and he drove around backwoods in desolate areas because he knew that parents were more liberal allowing their children to ride their bikes. And then poof, a bike would be there, but a child would be gone. So it's not unheard of for people that have twisted and messed up brains to hunt in rural areas. Now, it's fewer and far between, but when you do find somebody all alone, they are truly all alone, and that's a plus for a person like that. So, is this a situation like that? Is this a situation of a Dylan Rounds, where somebody was just squatting somewhere and it was just hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm not sure if you can because my alarm was going off, and so I apologize about that. Good morning. So we've got this weather really sucks today, I can tell you. It's not all over the state of Florida. It's just from Tampa down. I don't know how far down, but I know it's just a little further above me. So there is that. You guys can hear the rain. Yeah, it's beating against the window quite well. Just a crummy day, but you know what? I'm not complaining. You guys know I have been begging for some rain, and today we've got some rain. So, and we've got a lot of it, and it started pouring down in the middle of the night because it woke up Delilah, and of course Delilah woke me up. She started jumping on my shoulder, licking my face. She wanted to let me know that there were some noises she didn't understand. So we got up at like 5 o'clock this morning. Yay! Good old way to reset the old clock, right? I don't know what's going to go on with this case, and I don't know who's responsible. I bounced it around. I've been pondering this case a lot, like many of you guys have, and it really just doesn't defy logic, much like Sebastian Rogers. And we have to look at these cases that don't make sense or defy logic in other cases, like Sebastian Rogers. And the only other cases that we have like this are abductions and parental violence. Those are the cases, and that's the case we're looking at. And quite frankly, law enforcement told us that they don't believe there's an abduction. So it's really leaving one option. And why am I removing the wandering off? Because there's no evidence of them wandering. And the footprint by the pipe said that the footprint wasn't by the pipeline, wasn't there, or wasn't seen during their initial searches. And it sounds like this print showed up like a week later. And so why they are looking at the pipeline and following this print near the pipeline that appears came out of nowhere is a little odd. Some people saying it's almost too perfect. They said that they haven't found a shoe inside the home that matches it, which could imply that it might be one of the kids' boots that they have with them. But another thing that really bothered me is the report of some of the items that they found inside the home during their initial search. And one of those items was one single pink boot, not a pair, a single pink boot. And I can't remember if they found it under the couch or under the bed. But if they found it under the couch or under the bed, isn't it a pink boot or pink boots that they said Lily would have had on at the time she disappeared? So again, this boot is causing me some heartburn because it's causing, where's the other pink boot? You know, and to hear that that Lily left in pink boots and flew it with dinosaurs for Jack, it's a little odd for me because the backpack, I told you guys when we first started this case that it is the backpack that I'm having a problem with, because if the kids were off of school and they were sneaking out to play, or not even sneaking, just thinking it's okay to go outside and play with no problem, why would she feel the need to grab her backpack? Her backpack for me is a place to store things. What do I mean? If somebody's trying to set up a hoax or stage a scene and they need to remove some items, a backpack's a perfect place to put those items to remove from the house. And I said that at the very beginning of this case because the backpack has bothered me a little bit. Why did the backpack leave with Lily? She wasn't going to school. She wasn't in school that day. Why would she go outside to play with a white backpack? That makes no sense. Now, granted, children don't all the time make sense. They may have wanted to make mud pies. I mean, kids do that, right? They take nice things and dirty them because they don't realize when you dirty something, it doesn't come as clean as it originally was, because they don't understand that. Their brains are still developing and still understanding the world and things, and they're still learning. So the backpack, though, is the problem for me. Not the boots. The backpack and what they were wearing. What was described that they were wearing. And the reason why I say that is because both parents are saying that they were in bed. They didn't really see the children. They saw one child, pop their head in, or Daniel saw Lily in that morning, and that was it. Allegedly, that Lily was seen. But Jack wasn't by anybody. And I went back and I reviewed it, and I don't recall anybody saying they saw Jack that morning. So having a definitive answer on what they were wearing is, and speaking factually about it, they're absolutely wearing these things, is bothersome for me, because their story that they've told the world would indicate that they would most likely not know what their children are wearing or what they're in. The boots, if the boots are by the door that they allegedly exited and those boots are missing, yeah, I think we could reasonably deduct that Lily would be wearing pink boots and Jack would be wearing blue boots with dinosaurs because they were there the night before. They're now missing along with the children. But children typically have clothes, lots of clothes. don't know or haven't seen your children when they have a lot of clothes, what choice of clothing they chose to wear that day. It may be mismatched. It might match perfectly. You don't know. Clearly, the parents didn't dress them. They dressed themselves. So how did the parents know exactly what each child was wearing with such specificity? That's another problem we're going to have in this particular case, in this particular matter. So that's where we're at. I did want to, I'm almost to my doctor's appointment, so I'm going to have to let you go. When I get back to the house, I will do a more formal live, but I noticed it was getting close to 10 o'clock in the morning, and wanted to make sure that we kicked our Manic Monday off right, where we got to say good morning to everyone, because I know I enjoy my Manic Mondays. I know if I enjoy my Manic Mondays, you guys must enjoy the Manic Mondays as well. I'm sorry for being on the road, but you guys need to get used to it anyways, because this is how we usually roll when we're doing live. We're usually on the scene, out in the field, and having, pixely lives. So I would have turned this around so you guys could see, at least do the road trip and see what kind, but it's just, you can't see in front of me. It's pretty bad rain. So anyways, I love you guys. Have a great day. God bless you. We will see you this afternoon for our live and our call-in show. We still have a call-in show. Oh, it's getting really bad, guys. Let me go ahead and go. I'm almost to my doctor's. I'll see you guys